All right, Shalom. First off, all praises, admiration, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahakodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, first off, I want to say Shalom to the ones that push this word out in truth and in sincerity, which are the apostles and elders on down to the brothers. And Shalom to the ones that endure this faith until the very end, until the time of Jacob's troubles, which are again the apostles and elders on down to the brothers and a few sisters. All right, so Shalom. So I want to do this, quick video, based on, it's like a real small, dream, that I had uh last night actually. And I'm not going to go too much in detail because it was kind of graphic, but long story short, as you can see on the the screen, you already know what scripture this is, right? And where I'm heading towards this, right? It's one of those type of dreams, man. And it's spiritual that, brothers, elders, they be having these dreams, right? There was stories of even, brothers, children, brothers, wives having these type of dreams as well, right? Um, being taken up to be, persecuted, right? Because we already know that's the times that's coming, right? Being taken up and, as the scriptures say, man, right here, even being afflicted, so in this dream, um, they took us to some concentration camp. Well, they took me there, and they, it's like it's some various torturous methods, man. Because that's what the hell they're going to do, man. That's what they're going to try a spirit, especially for that that rice grain that goes in your right hand or your forehead, right? So they was, they didn't actually have that there though, which is the funny part in this dream, which you already know that's going to be there, but I don't think it was exactly for that reason. But it was rather for the fact of them knowing who or what I am, right? Us being, Hebrew Israelites, obviously, right? Even today, if let's say you got somebody from school or somebody from work, maybe your boss drive by, see you preaching on the corners, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you one of them, right? You one of them them black Hebrew Israelites." So they started like beating me to death, nearly, right? They took one of them, big ass pump shotguns. Somehow I was still alive. As much as they did, somehow, in that dream, I was still, alive, but somehow, I felt it, right? I felt it all. They put a shotgun behind my shoulder and just blew my whole arm off, right? And then my lower waist, it's like you already know they're going to be putting a lot of people to death, man. Because you're even going to have a lot of people in this world, like them Christians, them diehard Christians, that's not going to be taking that, right? A lot of worldly people are going to be out here saying, "And no, we're not taking that, that rice grain." But you're going to have a lot of people, which most of the people are going to be taking it. But you're still going to have people rebelling against the society, right? Just like today, you still got people in the world, man, that's still rebelling. You already know you had a bunch of people, who didn't really know the truth back then in ancient times. They were rebelling against Egypt, right? Against Rome. So, and you're also going to have a lot of people that's doing them torture methods. In fact, that's spiritual too, because in that dream, I seen our own people torturing us, our own people, just like they did with Yahweh Shai. Reincarnation is a thing, man. So our own people in that dream was torturing us, and that's what's coming to pass, man. Why do you think the so-called black woman is best known for being a nurse, right? Because they're training them up for that specific, agenda, right? That goes in your right hand or your forehead or anywhere else. So this is Matthew 24 and 9. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right? So what happened with Yahweh Shai? Right? The Lord made our people do what they did to him. Right? They hated Yahweh Shai. Right? That's why the scriptures, that's why Yahweh Shai said, man, before the world hated you, the world hated me. Right? Just slightly paraphrasing. Because the world hated Yahweh Shai before they hated any of us. Right? And what are they doing today, man? They hate us. You got other Israelite camps that hate us. And you already know in the last days, man, them Israelite camps, they're going to be, selling us out. They're going to be delivering us to be, persecuted. Right? Which a lot of them are going to be persecuted as well. But a lot of them, IUIC, y'all took the bag. Right? He has a net worth. So you can clearly see, what's going to be happening. Right? They're going to be selling us out. Oh, them GMS guys over there, get them especially. Right? In fact, they might even be the ones delivering like harm to us themselves. Right? I've had quite a few dreams of that. Other camps, being wicked. Because that's what people think, that coming in the truth, man, it's easy. No. Right? Because we're putting our lives on the line. Right? Any day, we got loads of stories that even on video, brothers getting stabbed up, brothers getting shot at. What do you think, Yahweh Shai and his disciples went through? Right? What do you think the prophets of old went through? They went through the same things. Right? But the biggest example, as always, is Yahweh Shai himself. He got tortured and delivered up to be hung by his own people. Spitting at him, calling him a demon. Right? They hated him, especially the wicked scribes and Pharisees, man. They hated Yahweh Shai. Right? So what do you think is going to happen, in today's times, man, especially when 911 shut down? Them Hebrew Israelites, get them. Them GMS guys, because they especially hate us. Them GMS guys, get them. We don't like them. A lot of us is going to be, like Samson, right? What did they do with him? They put him up, they hung him up on the pillars, on 2 pillars, and had him as a spectacle. So this is verse 10. It says, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. So many are going to hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. What do we see today? A lot of false prophets, especially your other camps. Right? Another good example is the parable of the sower, right? As we go into. That's why you gotta stay prayed up unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, that you are not, the ones that fall upon stony ground, right? Because that's not just talking about, today's times, man. That's talking about the times that's going to come too, right? That goes for all of us, right? Because what are the ones that fall upon stony ground? The ones who can't take persecution when things start getting hard or easily offended. When things start getting hard, man, they start getting afflicted. You're gonna have a lot of Jake. That's gonna be the seeds that fall upon stony ground, man. They're gonna tap out, as they say. That's the type of spirit that you do not want, right? Why do you think we say blood in, blood out? Right? Most gangs get that shit from, ancient times, man, because that's actually how it is. It's either you're in this thing or you're not. It's either you'll die, serving the Lord or not. Right? Prepare thy soul for temptation. So, by the Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah HaKodash, and Shalom.